So what we want to do now is want to play exactly what he had to say. It's only about a minute or so clip, and then we're going to come back and really get into his what he had to say. Take a listen to Stephen A. Smith here.
Your ESPN contract,
yes, sir,
is what we're told up next year. And the word on the street is that you want something in the range of $100 million for 5 years.
Right.
True?
I'm not getting specific as it pertains to numbers because only a fool discusses his own negotiations while negotiating. I would ask respectfully, pay attention to the industry, see what people are getting paid, see how much money they're making and what they're bringing to the table. Dak Prescott just signed a contract for $240 million. He's making $60 million a year. He made sure to get...
I know, he's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
Who has won 2 playoff games in 8 years. I've been number 1 for 12. I'm sorry. In our respective industries, I win. And I'm fully aware of what I'm worth. And I will never apologize to that for anybody.
So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say, right? You heard what he had to say. Now, some people are a little bit upset that he brought in Dak Prescott to try to draw a contrast by basically saying he doesn't win, I win, and all of that. And then Chris Wallace said, but he's a quarterback, and then he completed the analogy and all that. But some people got upset. He's like, wait, man, you're looking at other people's money. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith does that. All right, he does that. He's, as I said before, he's keenly aware of what people make around him. Now, the question is, should ESPN pay him $100 million? I think that if that's what the market says he deserves, then they should pay him. If the market says he deserves to get paid $150 million, he should make $150 million. It doesn't come down to what I think. It comes down to what the market says he's worth. And if the market says he's worth $100 million, then he should do it. Now, if the market is saying he's worth $80 million and he's negotiating for an additional $20 million, I think he should also do that as well. There's nothing wrong with negotiating. There's nothing wrong with bargaining. I don't have any issue with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's smart, right? Another thing I do like about what he said, and I think is very important, is to understand what your value is, regardless of whatever industry you're in. I think that is pivotal. Right? It's pivotal because then you won't get shortchanged, right? You may be worth, I don't know, for example, $10 an hour, right? And someone is trying to shortchange you and pay you $5 an hour. Well, if you don't know that you're worth $10 an hour, you're going to accept the 5. But if you're keenly aware of the fact that you're worth $10, just to give you an example, then you're going to do anything you can in your power to at least get that. At least get that, and you will have a threshold that you're not willing to go below. Right. So from that standpoint, I totally understand that. And I urge you out there, whomever is watching this show, who may be doing any particular business, it's important to understand what your time is worth, what the value of what you do is worth. You know, you can understand this by things. What Stephen A. Smith is doing is no different than what any other company is doing, trying to understand what its value is. You know, if I'm business B and I'm looking at business A and we do the same amount of work and business A is worth, I don't know, $500,000, and I'm like, okay, well, we do the exact same thing, we have similar results, then I need to be worth somewhere within that ballpark, certainly. And I think that's what he's doing. I think Stephen A. Smith is combing through the Rolodex of analysts and personalities at ESPN and saying, okay, well, if these guys are making this type of money on, you know, with their respective shows, and I'm making this, and I'm bringing in these type of numbers on my respective show, and I have a history of proof of concept that I know what I'm doing, then I deserve this. It becomes very hard to argue against that, right? So I think he understands that. Good for him.